Hi, friends. Um, Today I got a new phone and I was just setting that up. So, I don't know. The camera's looking at me weird. I don't. Anyway, the whole point is to be raw and unfiltered. There is a little filter on it though because you don't need to see all of this. There's a little smoothing going on, just a little bit. It's okay. Anyhow, hopefully, what I have going on today um, with papaya will help smooth out naturally, and I won't have to use the camera filter to smooth. But anyhow, I remember in a couple of videos ago, I was talking about papaya and my issues with it. So, ever since I was introduced to papaya many years ago, it's always smelled like vomit. And I just never understood who picked up this fruit, smelled it, and was like, I'm going to eat this. Um, and then everybody else was like, I love papaya, num num. And I'm just like, why? Why though? I mean, I get it's good for you, but why are you eating it? I just couldn't get past it. Um, I know it's a thing. I know that other people feel this way, but the majority of people don't smell or taste that funky vomit feet smell. Um, and most people don't feel that. So, okay, I was the odd one out on that. So, okay, you know. But for me, I thought, okay, this is something I have to get over because maybe there's a trick, maybe there's a way I could get over it. So, because papaya has so many health benefits, it's the ones here, like the giant ones, the big ones, um, you know, they're pretty affordable. Hi, baby. They're pretty affordable and they have so many seeds, which is what I like to use for the health benefits because I don't have to taste it. So if I'm going to buy a whole papaya for the seeds, I'm not going to just take the seeds and then not eat the fruit. So I got to find a way to make it work for me. Um, so I did some research and so keeping papaya cold, if you slice it up like you would a melon, keeping it cold helps with that. Also, putting some lime or lemon juice on it helps a lot. Um, Once you get over the initial funkiness of it, it does taste pretty good. And the texture is great too. Um, and you might ask why I've been so stubborn. Like, why not just give up on papaya? Well, as I said, that, it's an abundant fruit. Like, you get a lot in the fruit. There are smaller versions, but the ones that I've been exposed to have been giants. So you get a lot of fruit and a lot of seeds, and you can use the seeds. You could dry them. Well, you can take the fresh seeds and take a teaspoon as a digestive aid. Um, but I don't do that. What I do is I dry them out and I grind them up and put them into. Today I have some seeds in my yogurt, but I also have a like an anti-inflammatory blend that I make because with fibromyalgia, inflammation is my enemy. Like that's my trigger. So I try to stick with foods that have a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, and papaya is one of those foods. Also, because of inflammation, I have some digestive issues, and it's been in some of my research, they say that papain is a enzyme in papaya that is similar to a digestive enzyme that we have in our stomach. So I feel like that might be what I'm smelling, and I'm just like it smells like vomit, and maybe that's what I'm smelling in the papaya. But that enzyme actually does help with digestion. And since the inflammation causes some very difficult digestive issues, it is beneficial for me. Has antioxidant properties. Um, uh, it's really good for liver health. As I stated, it's got a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, vitamin C, so it gives your immune system a boost and helps with collagen production, which, helps smooth things out, pretty skin, hair, nails. Helps with weight loss because it's so fiber rich, and because the fiber helps you feel full, and it also helps control blood sugar spikes. Again, I'm not diabetic, but we should all be mindful of that blood sugar. It does have antiparasitic properties, which also helps with digestion, helps you flush out and get rid of any parasites in your system. It's good for heart health, and it's said to have some anti-cancer properties. So papaya is overall a really good fruit. I just couldn't get past the vomit smell, but still a little feedy. I'm gonna say exactly vomit, but a little musky or cheesy, like a funky cheese, you know. But with the lime juice, it's actually pretty good. I've also, for my breakfast, I have the So Delicious coconut milk yogurt, because me and dairy don't go together. I still indulge sometimes, but if I do too much, it's going to be a bad day for me and for everybody around me. So I try to stay away from it. But yogurt, again, because I have some digestion issues, I want to make sure that with my nutrition, I'm getting those probiotics and prebiotics, and yogurt is a great source of that. And it's just a very simple, easy food to put on your stomach, especially when you're breaking your fast. What I like to put in my yogurt, I don't know if you can see, I like to put in, these are my papaya seeds that I dried and collected, and I just take that into like a mortar and pestle and crush them up. I put them in my yogurt. But this is my little my anti-inflammatory seed blend. This I put into my smoothies, or right now I have it in my yogurt. But it's got hemp seeds, chia seeds, so turmeric with pepper, cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom. And it gives a nice little flavor to whatever, like to my smoothies and to my yogurt. But it's packed with all of those good things that that we need for health. And it's just so cheap and easy to make, and just drop in to make sure that I'm getting some, just getting some extra nutrition in what I'm already eating. And then because I don't do well with oats, with granola, but I love a crunch. I crushed up some almonds and put those in there. And so that's my breakfast. My yogurt with papaya seeds and my anti-inflammatory blend. Some papaya and room temperature water. I typically I thought I did this and got ahead of the cat feeder. I guess not. But anyhow, I typically don't drink and eat at the same time, because when you have the fluid in your stomach, it dilutes the food. Sometimes it could push it through your stomach sooner than it's ready to. Your stomach is like churning and getting it all broken down as best as it can, so it can absorb as much nutrition as it can when it gets to your small intestine. So if you have some fluid in your stomach 15 minutes prior to eating or 15 minutes after eating, it tends to dilute what you've already eaten and push it through a little bit sooner. Like I said, I have some digestive issues, so I'm trying to make sure that whatever I eat stays in my stomach as long as it can, to break down as long as it can, and stays into my small intestine, so it can absorb. As most of the nutrition absorption happens in the small intestine. So trying to make sure that it has as much time as it can there. But because this is relatively smooth anyway, there's I'm basically, the only thing that I really need to chew up is the nuts. Everything else is pretty much just going down my throat anyway. And because I have the chia seeds and hemp seeds and everything in it, I want to make sure that I have plenty of fluid, so that if when they expand, if they expand too much, they have room. The fluid gives them room to move instead of getting stuck. And most people don't have this problem. I had bariatric surgery in 2019, so my stomach is teeny tiny, so I have to make those accommodations. But again, it's just something I think about, and I think that it would be beneficial for a lot of other people to think about it that way too. Just to not have just to give your food a little bit of time to digest and absorb what it needs to and process what it needs to, so it so you're not feeling that you have to keep eating. A lot of times we don't take our time to eat. We don't take our time to sit and be intentional and think about what we're putting into our body and why we're putting it into our body. I'm guilty of it my whole life. I'm just now in the past, like since I started having the surgery, I had to go through this lengthy process, which I'm very, very grateful for because it taught me so much, got me where I am today. But a lengthy process of relearning and relearning how to nourish my body, relearning how to move in my body and do what it needs to do to be my best self. I'm still learning and still adapting, but every day is better. And I'm just grateful for what we have now. Again, I keep saying abundance, but we just have a wealth. Like, we are wealthy. Papaya on this tree, in this giant tree, and a giant fruit. Tastes like feet, but it's so healthy for me. So I'm just gonna get over it, and I'm gonna eat it and let it do what it needs to do for me, and we're all gonna be happy and healthy and well. And maybe one day it won't be so bad. Maybe the more I eat it, it won't be so bad. But for now, I've wrapped my mind around it. I've accepted these things, that it is what it is. It's like this with broccoli too. I do not like broccoli. Broccoli to me smells like poop. And if I eat the stalks, it sits like a rock in my stomach. So I really don't eat broccoli unless it's the broccolini or just the tops of the broccoli. And it sucks because broccoli is everywhere, and it's so easy to toss into a casserole. It's so easy to toss into your fried rice, and there's so many health benefits to it. But again, like with papaya, I don't like it, and I'm not going to choose it for myself. At least with papaya, it doesn't hurt when I eat it. With broccoli, like I said, it is so fibrous, and the stalks are so stringy, that it just sits and sits in my stomach forever, and it's very uncomfortable. So at least I have that as an excuse to not eat it. But I don't know, again, maybe it'll change someday. But for now, that is what it is. Really, I just wanted to document my food, my breakfast, document and use this as a tool for myself, to document my journey into health and wellness, and keeping myself well and healthy, and doing the good things for myself that that I need to give myself credit for, and hopefully to provide some kind of insight and education and information to someone else. Okay. I said every 5 days I would try to do a video, so that's what this is. I really didn't feel like getting up to do it. I'm in full disclosure and honesty. Very, very tired today. I think it's important to be transparent about what we're feeling. not to sit and wallow in it or expect anyone else to take the burden for us, but that's what community is. It's sharing the load a little bit, or sharing what you're going through, because people care. And when you're in a state where you feel like you can't speak about the things that cause you discomfort, it makes you feel that much more alone. And I'm calling this series Holding Space. I'm not just holding space for other people, I'm holding space for myself. So hopefully I'm not just, hopefully I'm not, hopefully in me sharing my discomfort, I am not causing anyone else distress, but that's my intention is to share vulnerability so that anyone else who is struggling with vulnerability can feel a little bit more emboldened to share theirs. Maybe not online. If you feel compelled to do that, then do you. But being able to be vulnerable about your discomfort in general is a superpower, and it's one I intend to hone because it is one of my weaknesses. I'm choosing to make a weakness into a superpower. Anytime I find something in myself that I need to work on, I feel like this is an opportunity for growth, and I get excited about it. Vulnerability is one of mine. So in my other video, as I spoke of being grounded in self and being authentic, vulnerability is my next step in my authenticity. So for the people who may feel distressed or discomfort at my discomfort, I say to you, keep scrolling. Maybe something else will resonate with you with somebody else. But if me sharing my discomfort makes you feel a little bit more emboldened to share yours, and I don't mean going out into the world and complaining and being miserable, but I mean sharing the truth of things. Sometimes you just don't feel like talking to people, and that's okay. Sometimes you don't feel like doing all the good things for yourself. Sometimes you want to do the easy thing, and that's okay as long as you're not really hurting yourself or anybody else. And as long as you don't stay there, realize that that is temporary. Those feelings are temporary, and your coping methods for those feelings are temporary as well. Don't make permanent decisions and life choices when you in a temporary mindset. That I guess that's the gist of what I'm trying to share. That just came off the top of the noggin. That was just a straight up download. I came on here talking about papaya, and then I ended up talking about vulnerability and and such. And I can't even recall it. That's how I knew it didn't come from me. So yeah, that was a straight up channel. So I think that's why it's important for me to record these too, because I do get this insight and I get this information, and I'm communicating it to someone else. And it's really hard. People say, why don't you take your own advice? Most of the time, I don't even know what I'm saying. It could be concerning. I'm not really concerned about it because it tends to be good stuff. But if it turns the other way, then I'll take a closer look at it. But for now, it serves me well, and it's serving the people in my life well. So we're going to keep going with it. Anyhow, friends, I hope you have a wonderful next 5 days. I hope you do something for yourself to show yourself that you love yourself and that you care for yourself. It doesn't have to be big. Just make a choice to be like, you know what? I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm doing myself because I know I'd appreciate it. So yeah, do something for yourself. Okay. I love you, friends. I hope you love yourself. Okay. Bye-bye.